Wi-Fi is expensive, and the airlines are always looking for different ways to subsidize that cost. So MyFree, using that as a catalyst to extend into a post-flight DIRECTV signature subscription, whereby we would offer rev share, is attractive to them.
Welcome to the very first episode of Inside Business with DIRECTV. I'm Jon Greer, and I'll be your host as we explore how entertainment technology is reshaping the way business gets done across industries. In our debut episode, we're looking to the skies. My guest is Kim de Flesco. Kim leads aviation strategy at DIRECTV. Today, we're talking about how airlines are delivering live content to passengers on international routes and why that's becoming a key part of the travel experience. Let's get started. So, Kim, you have a pretty diverse background and experience across DIRECTV and other service distribution platforms. You're clearly no stranger to leading change in complex and evolving industries. Tell us about yourself and what you do here at DIRECTV.
Yeah, so thanks, John. Appreciate you having me on today. I started my career in the wireless industry, did that for a number of years and built out various markets for Nextel. And then I moved over to Sprint once we merged with them. And then actually a former colleague of mine who had been over at DIRECTV reached out to me and asked me if I had interest in coming on board here. So I decided to give it a shot. The majority of the time, I have been on the commercial side, which is a DIRECTV for Business. And then the last 4 years, I have managed our aviation business, which consists of commercial air and business aviation.
Kim, DIRECTV was the first to launch live TV at 35,000 feet with JetBlue in 2000, but a lot's changed over the last 25 years. So what trends are we seeing across the in-flight entertainment landscape emerge today?
That's a great question, John. We did launch with JetBlue 25 years ago. The technology back then was a linear feed, or something we often refer to as a direct broadcast service, which means simply we have our content distributed from our broadcast center in Los Angeles up to our DIRECTV satellites. And then it comes down to the aircraft. And on board to ingest the signal, we had receivers at every seat, very much like you have in your home today. Then, over time, we worked with Viasat, who is an in-flight connectivity provider, to develop live TV via an IP feed. So how that simply works is, once again, we distribute our content from our broadcast center in LA. It goes up to the DIRECTV satellite, and then it comes down to an uplink site where we have a head-end system that de-encrypts and re-encrypts the content. It then goes back up to Viasat's satellite and then down to the plane over the Wi-Fi network.
What does that mean for the passengers on the plane or for the airlines themselves as they think about the new delivery mechanism?
Now, with IPTV, we're able to deliver our content that can be viewed on either a seatback screen or a personal device, such as a laptop, iPad, or phone. So it gives us a lot more flexibility, not only to deliver the content, but also to allow for more content. And then the airline can determine what channels they want to choose. And it's all based on bandwidth consumption. They also work with the airlines on aircraft integration once we do come on board.
Kim, sticking with the content discussion here, how do airlines determine what content to show the passengers?
Hands down, the number one and number two choices of every single airline is live news and sports.
As a frequent traveler yourself, what's your go-to DIRECTV channel or program when you're in the air?
I enjoy my time in flight to catch up on emails and whatnot. And so while I'm working, I always like to have CNBC on in the background. And I use it as a way, quite honestly, to monitor what's going on in the aviation space. They often have a lot of information on the airlines, and I'm always closely in tune to that. It's very important for us to stay on top of that so that we know how to navigate our relationship with them.
You mentioned several airline partners. What role do those partners play in helping us shape their in-flight experience?
We are very involved with the airlines and the content that they choose. We meet with them very often and provide them guidance. They pretty much take all of our live news channels that we offer, but it really comes down to the sports content.
Are there any network programs or packages that really stand out?
Yeah, we offer all of our programming that is available on the DirecTV for Business side, and that includes NFL Sunday Ticket, Red Zone, MLB Friday Night Baseball, Amazon Thursday Night Football. All the airlines want something that's going to differentiate themselves from another airline. So this season, and I can't mention the airline, but you will see MLB Friday Night Baseball on 2 airlines.
I like it. Do we offer national versus regional packages, or is it all national fleet wide?
All of our packages within commercial aviation are available nationwide.
Awesome. So across the entire fleet.
Correct. Yes. Any content that an airline signs up for will be available to view on their entire narrow body fleet within the United States.
Kim, let's talk a little bit about some recent news DirecTV in-flight's made on offering live programming on flights to and from the US.
Yeah. So this one is near and dear to my heart. It's my most favorite thing to talk about these days. It was a long time coming. We spent a little over 3 years working to gain international rights, but essentially we are the first live TV provider to deliver US-based programming via an IP feed. And our content will be available on flights departing and returning to the United States. Super exciting in that this will not be limited to domestic airline partners, but we will be able to offer our content to international airlines on their routes coming to the United States and then going back to the country of origin. So our content team just did a rock star job. They worked hand in hand with us the last 3 years, and they were able to get over 50 channels for us. Passengers can enjoy a variety of sports, news, and lifestyle channels. So some of the big ones we got: NBC channels, Paramount, Fox, and then we got premium sports content such as NFL Red Zone, NFL Network, NHL Network, NHL Sunrise, the Golf Channel, and then there was some kids programming in there. So we got Disney Kids as well, which was exciting.
When can international travelers start to enjoy content from DirecTV in flight?
So the first step was we had to obtain two-way rights, and that took a while to get. So now that we have that, we are working with our pricing and packaging teams to figure out how to package the content. And then we will work in conjunction with Viasat to sell our content to each individual airline. There's a lot of technological components to it. It's not that easy. When you leave the United States, we are not only dealing with Viasat's network, we are dealing with other connectivity providers' networks such as Anuvu, Panasonic, Intelsat, SES, and Starlink. So we are going to be working with Viasat to figure out by network and airline how many channels they can support through the current bandwidth that they have on board today. We have a path forward, and we know we'll figure it out.
DirecTV now has a entertainment solution for everyone with the launch of My Free DirecTV, their new genre packs, and the more fulsome signature packages. How are you thinking about bringing some of those consumer offerings to the airline space?
Yeah, so we are always looking at ways to develop our relationship with the airlines even further. So My Free was an interesting one because it's received a lot of press lately, and My Free lineup is constantly expanding. So if we can get My Free on board, we can then parlay that into a post-flight offer through our DirecTV signature service on the residential side. And in that offer, we then will work with the airline to offer a rev share, which is of interest to them. Wi-Fi is expensive, and the airlines are always looking for different ways to subsidize that cost. So My Free, using that as a catalyst to extend into a post-flight DirecTV signature subscription, whereby we would offer rev share, is attractive to them. Another way we can continue to further our relationship with the airlines is through ad insertion.
I would love to hear more about your commitment to developing talent and inspiring future leaders.
Yeah, so I played sports growing up, and I am an avid sports fan. I have approached everything that I have done in my career as a team effort. I very much believe in empowering my team and supporting them. I took over the aviation business a few years ago. I'll be honest, there were a lot of hurdles in the space. There was a lot of challenges that we had to overcome, but I knew I had the best team in the business. I love them to death. So, and not only them, at DIRECTV, we just have such incredible talent. We could never have done what we have done the last few years without them. Case in point, Jet Vision by DIRECTV, which is our business aviation product. We were the first in the world to deliver live IPTV on board. We all work hard, but we also play hard too. We're like a family. And to me, that's just priceless.
For someone who's interested, where can they go to learn more about DIRECTV in flight?
Yeah, sure, John. We have a dedicated webpage for both our business and commercial aviation sectors. So folks who are interested, they can check out dtv.biz/inflight, all one word.
Kim, thank you.
Anytime.
Huge thanks to Kim de Flesco for giving us a peek inside how DIRECTV is helping airlines keep passengers entertained. I'm Jon Greer, and thanks for flying with us today. We'll be back soon with more stories from the front lines of innovation, where entertainment meets enterprise on Inside Business with DIRECTV.